The sequel to 2000's Pitch Black arrived in the form of the Chronicles of Riddick. Our anti-hero made his return following on 5 years after the events of Pitch Black. Back in its day, there weren't that many new sci-fi universes that genuinely brought plenty of interest and questions from its viewers. So to see a sequel released to a film that didn't exactly have a blockbuster advertisement budget was a significant sign for people to return to this universe. Riddick, naturally, is still on the run with a newly placed bounty on his head. And after figuring out the man responsible for him being hunted once again, he made his way back to a familiar face. Straight away when the film begins, you can tell it is a completely different animal. Pitch Black was very enclosed, tense, and focused on a small group of survivors. The Chronicles of Riddick, however, is an entirely different ballgame. It is a huge change in scenery compared to its predecessor. Where Pitch Black was more of a sci-fi horror film, this is pushed far closer to an action and adventure one. Not that that's a bad thing, it just leans its focus towards different areas than before. And one of those focuses is the backstory of Riddick himself. Even as the main character in the franchise, we still didn't know much about his origins. Here though, that is resolved as we learnt that Riddick is a Furian. Being part of an ancient, thought to be extinct warrior race gave us some answers as to how Riddick became so deadly and efficient in combat. And throughout the rest of the film, he is working one piece at a time to try and rearrange some of his past memories. And along his journey, he encounters an invading empire known as the Necromongers, who are going from planet to planet recruiting and destroying anything in their way. And led by their ruthless leader, the Lord Marshal, no one in the universe was safe. That was why Imam brought Riddick to Helium Prime, and that is why the Elemental's leader, Judi Dench's character, pleaded with Riddick in needing his help. As stories were told, to battle a greater evil sometimes requires a different kind of evil, and the evil needed to stop the Lord Marshal was prophesied to be Riddick. He was always very defiant in his views, rebelling against the natural order of things and following his own code of conduct, so there was never going to be an immediate yes. It wasn't until Imam mentioned her, Riddick, decided to stay put. Her, Jack, now going by the name of Kira, was one of a select few that Riddick had grown attached to, and it seemed Kira had followed suit in his traits. She went looking for him years ago after he left and was thrown into Crematoria, a no-daylight slum where she's been residing ever since. It set up a less than friendly reunion between the pair on this volcanic planet after Riddick was captured by tombs. You don't survive for long on the surface of Crematoria, and in one of the film's best sequences, Riddick, Kira and co raced against the sun's light and fought off some Necros for good measure. Now at times it does get wildly over the top. Riddick wrestling down some of those Necromongers and swinging Kira around, taking out 4 or 5 at a time, does maybe take it a step too far. But a part that I never fail to smile on is this bit here. I'm not even mad, it's cheesy, but damn it suits Riddick's boldness, so I think we can forgive them for that one. The dynamic between Riddick and Kira gelled very well together. Alexa Davalos radiated that same sense of danger that Riddick has within him. And aside from our previous characters who were being continued and built upon, there weren't really that many other characters to get invested in. Imam sadly met his end at the hands of one of the Necromonger warriors, who was awesomely avenged in style by the way, and side characters like Toombs, while amusing and providing some light-hearted moments, weren't really explored into that much. And Arian, the elemental leader, was there mostly just to narrate and fill us in some of the blanks. So it left us with one character, and that was Lord Varkor. Karl Urban's Necromonger commander was that unflinching loyalist who was beginning to show signs of doubt about his leader. And with his wife constantly whispering in his ear for him to seize the opportunity when it presented itself, only made Varko's doubts get stronger and stronger. I actually quite like Varko. Maybe it's because I'm a fan of Karl Urban's work, but he was the only real character who was on the bad side of the story for us to get invested in. So we had Riddick, Kira, a prophecy, and the Necromongers. Would Riddick be able to stop the ever-growing and seemingly unbeatable Lord Marshal to save the universe from annihilation? Or would Riddick fall and convert to the cause? It's another tough film to put a final verdict on. Where I feel it does lie somewhere between a high 6 and a 7, the film is a lot of fun. It wasn't the ideal direction I was looking for when expanding from the original, but regardless it provided plenty of entertainment. And isn't that one of the main reasons you sit down to watch a film in the first place? Therefore I am going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's cool, it's fun, it's enjoyable, and visually it's great to watch. And add to that the expanding array of planets along with new races such as the Necromongers adds more and more layers into this science fiction world. The score of the film is a standout. I'm not sure of its exact name, I think it might be One Speed, but I'm not 100% sure. Vin Diesel again shines in his leading role, and with both Alexa Davalos and Karl Urban at his sides, it formed a formidable trio just like the original did to take the story forward. Crematoria was the best part of the film. All of it added some much needed thrills, and seeing them scale that harsh landscape left you wondering if all of them would even make it out alive. Watching Riddick avenge a man was also quite satisfying, especially as he did it in such emphatic style. Again, I can't say that I was ever thrilled with the introduction of the Necros, I just think the franchise could have gone in a different direction. I don't dislike them, I just think there could have been better ways to expand the universe. But it is going to be interesting to see where they go from here. Riddick is their leader now. I don't think he will be for long, that sort of thing just isn't his style. But if Commander Varko took the reins, I do wonder then where that powerful army would go next. When compared against Pitch Black, the Chronicles of Riddick does not reach the original's heights. Maybe it's because I prefer the more closed-in horror aspect, because here it is open to the grand scale. There is no way though that it is a bad movie. At worst it is slightly above average. But a 7 is a solid score in the franchise's second instalment. And with a very respectable just over 2 hours of running time, it gives us a deeper insight into the Riddick mythos. Even if you haven't seen Pitch Black yet, you can jump straight into this one. It isn't a direct continuation, although I would recommend watching that one first. So what do you guys think of the Chronicles of Riddick? Do you disagree with me about the Necromongers, and what was your favourite moment in the film? Let me know down in the comments. And tune in for my next movie review to see if Riddick's third instalment would continue the Necromonger story, or would it return to its roots. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you on the next one.